Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Booking Better. So, on today's episode, I am rebooking Ricky Steamboat's reign as the WWF Intercontinental Champion. If you like videos like this, leave a like and subscribe. Even if you don't want to subscribe, it's okay. At least leave a like. It tells people like me that I'm doing a good job on this channel. Um, so let's dig into it. There is many controversies surrounding this, like after WrestleMania 3, because around that time he had asked for time off for the birth of his son. And I believe he asked for according to someone on a podcast, he had asked for 2 weeks off from the office, and they granted him 2 weeks off. So, um, so let's get into it. But then they felt that they didn't want the belt sitting in Carolina for 2 weeks. So Vince wanted him to drop the belt because he didn't want the belt sitting in Carolina for 2 weeks. So he was supposed to drop the belt to Butch Reed. Butch Reed pulled a no-show, and they were trying to figure out who they wanted him to drop the belt to. So Hogan and McMahon got together, and they were trying to figure it out. Hogan suggested the Honky Tonk Man. So they didn't tell Honky the finish right away. According to him in one of his interviews, they didn't tell him the finish right away. They told him at the last second. So he didn't know what was going on. But they told him at the last second. He ended up dropping the belt to him in Buffalo, New York. That was in June of '87. And Hockey went on that reign for like 454 days with the belt until SummerSlam '88. No, till SummerSlam. Yeah, till SummerSlam '88. I'm right. I almost said '89. So I want to rebook this. I think my idea would have been a better choice if I was a promoter. This is the way I would rebook it. If I was a promoter, this is the way I would do it. So let's fantasize here. Um, so let's talk about the setup to this. If I was a wrestling promoter, I would want him to continue the feud with Savage. The program with Randy should have extended beyond WrestleMania 3. Randy was at the peak of his heel persona. Everyone hated him around that time. And a clean loss at the biggest show of the year would have I would really think it would have infuriated him. It would set the stage for a desperate and brutal series of rematches between those two men. But even though he did lose to Ricky Steamboat, so he must have been still infuriated by that. You know? But so I would do it And so in May of 87, I would have Steamboat and Savage face off in a series of highly physical rematches on house shows. Savage would become obsessed with reclaiming the title, using more brutal tactics and drawing massive ratings for WWF programming. And with massive ratings, that's where the money comes in. That's the way I would do it. Throughout this whole rebooking, Hockey at some point will still get the belt. He would still get it. I would probably have rebooked this match for Saturday night's main event. I will let the feud conclude in a decisive match, likely a no DQ or a steel cage match, to empathize that animosity, letting Steamboat to retain the title, putting a definitive end to the Savage rivalry. And it would end up turning Savage face, and then the Maker Power storyline would begin. Because the feud with Steamboat would be over with. So let's talk about summer and early fall, the face-to-face challenge. Now, with Savage in his rear view mirror, Steamboat would need a challenger to carry the title's prestige. This would bring in two men, Butch Reed and the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase, the challenge for Steamboat's title. Butch Reed, now I said before, this would give Reed a second chance, but Butch Reed pulled a no-show, and that's why. And it wasn't because Hockey was Hogan's friend. Hockey earned that title shot. It wasn't because he was Hogan's friend. And the fact that people have to say that is a bunch of BS. Because it's not true. And I believe Hockey on that. I really do. You know. He earned it. He earned it. You know. So the original plan was Butch Reed. This would give Butch Reed a second chance at the belt. So he probably would no-show that one, but I don't know. But yeah, so he, like I said, he pulled a no-show, and that's why they went with the Hockey Talk Man. So this rebook storyline would have Reed with Slick as his manager, demanding a title shot. The basis of being a physical specimen, the two could have a series of power versus speed matches, with Steamboat successfully retaining the title, though with superior quickness. Through his superior quickness and in-ring IQ. That's what I was going to say. Now, when we talk about a guy by the name of the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, this is what I would have done with Ted DiBiase. Ted DiBiase, after when DiBiase arrived in the WWF, he would be the one to offer Steamboat money for the belt, just like he did with Hogan. He would offer Steamboat money for the belt. Steamboat would refuse the offer, just like Hogan did. This would let DiBiase send his bodyguard Virgil to weaken Steamboat, just like he sent Andre to try to rip Hogan's head off. So this would be a perfect program to establish DiBiase as an ultimate heel while also demonstrating Steamboat's fighting spirit against corporate greed. This could let Steamboat win by DQ or by a hard fought countout, ensuring DiBiase doesn't win the title while also building DiBiase's heat as the new top heel. That's the way I would do it. Now we go to the Survivor Series 87. This is what I would have done with the Survivor Series. Survivor Series would be Steamboat shines in the spotlight as the champion. Steamboat would be a cornerstone or the inaugural Survivor Series. No, he would be a cornerstone for the inaugural Survivor Series. He would be the star of the pay per view. So during the match, instead of Savage being on Steamboat's team, this will let Steamboat lead his own squad against a group of top heels. This could feature stars joining Steamboat's team like Jake the Snake Roberts, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, and others against a ruthless opposing team led by Honky Tonk Man and other top heels. The outcome would let Steamboat be the sole survivor of the match or have a dramatic elimination, but this would let him shine at the most valuable as the most valuable player of the Survivor Series. Whether Hockey wants to agree with me or not, this is what I would do with him. If I'm gonna put the belt on the Honky Tonk Man, it's it's it would be late 87, late 88 if I were to put the belt on him. Late 87, late 88. If I was booking it, it'd probably be late 88. But so Honky would still become the Intercontinental Champion, but it would be around late 87, late 88. So Honky Tonk Man, um, he would go on a cheating streak. He could spend months cheating in the ring, um, having a lot of victories, and ducking top competition. This would create a scenario to where Steamboat, the fighting champion, is challenged by the ultimate cowardly heel. The climax would be the two could meet in spring of 88, perhaps the first Royal Rumble, a major TV special, like Saturday night's main event. Honky would finally win the title through a badly cowardly maneuver, kicking off his record breaking 454-day title reign. That's the way I would rebook it with him. So let's talk about post title run main event. Having a full celebrator run with the title would have elevated Steamboat to a Paranero main event player. The feud with the Honky Tonk Man would let Steamboat have a series of rematches with the new champion. trying to regain the belt. Steamboat's babyface fire would be perfectly complemented by Hockey Talk Man's cowardly antics, resulting in an immensely popular feud. Well, they did have rematches when Steamboat was there, because Steamboat was too busy taking care of his newborn, so Hockey would be losing every night. And that frustrated him. But when Steamboat was there, Hockey would stop losing every night because, I mean, he would wrestle Steamboat. So I would have rebooked this. I don't know what the heck Vince McMahon was thinking. You know, that's the way I would rebook it with the Hockey Talk Man. He would get the belt late 88. So, I mean, Steamboat could have a potential run for the WWF Championship after his IC title program. He could enter the championship picture, given his incredible performance and popular run at the world title. Could be a logical progression for him in particular. The benefits of rebooking this increases Steamboat's legacy. A longer reign would solidify his status as a legendary WWF champion, not just the performer known for one great match like WrestleMania 3. And I've watched that match a dozen times with Savage, and that's by far my favorite match on the card. But nothing blows Andre and Hulk Hogan out of the water. I mean, no match can compare to that. So it establishes new heels. The longer run would give new villains like DiBiase and Hockey a significant program to boost their own status and generate heat. More meaningfully, Honky Tonk Man's reign, Honky Tonk Man's record breaking title run would have been even more impactful, as he would have cheated a fan favorite champion out of the belt, drawing massive heat. I was watching that match in Buffalo with him and Steamboat, and I looked real closely at the pinfall. I zoomed in real close. It looked like Steamboat's shoulders weren't to the mat at all. They weren't even on the mat at all. I I kind of think they screwed him out of the belt, like the Montreal screw job. Yeah, because his both of his shoulders were not even pinned to the mat. And looking at it, I think that was a fast count too. So he got cheated out of that belt, whether people want to admit it or not. Um, but they could have done this. They should have had Randy beat him at WrestleMania 3. You know, instead of going through all that bullshit. They could have done it that way. You know, because I guarantee you, if he would have asked for 2 weeks off before the event, they would have kept the belt on Randy. I guarantee you they would have done it. I guarantee you they would have done it. So I think this kind of build would benefit continuity. Rebooking this would create more engaging and connected storylines between major events like WrestleMania 3 Survivor Series, and the build up to WrestleMania 5. So that's it. That's the way I would do it. Hockey would still get the belt. He would still be in the title picture, but he would get the belt in later of 88. If I was a promoter, that's the way I would have done it. So, like I said, this is all fantasy stuff. This is not real. I'm not a wrestling promoter. I'm just doing these fantasy rebookings, and this is the way I would have done it. If you like videos like this, leave a like and subscribe. And I'll catch you guys on the next episode. Thanks.